welcome to At Home with Roby. I'm Patrick McIsaac, president of Roby Electric, along with Trent Haston, president and CEO of the Roby family of companies. We are your host. Trent, happy Sunday morning to you, sir.
I'm glad to be here.
I'm too.
I know you didn't ask if I was glad to be here, but I am.
I know you're glad. I can just look over there and see that you're happy to be here. I think you can look over and see I'm happy to be here too. It's a good day.
So who listening has gone on and found the podcast from last week with Brent Beeson and listened to it? That's the key. Learn a little bit about some family business, about some lint heads coming out of West Gaston County.
Lint heads, and I'm just going to assume everybody in their car that's listening to this just raise their hand. Let's just make that assumption and make us feel good.
So West Gaston County, you just know what a lint head is, or they've already looked at the podcast?
They might. I'm assuming they've looked at the podcast. If not, check it out. I did not know what a lint head was until Brent was in here, which I thought was an interesting term. But what an interesting show. I mean, he's got it going on. He's really built something nice down there between he and his family.
You didn't know what a lint head was?
I did not know what a lint head was.
Boy,
no.
Where are you from?
No. I'm from Marietta, Georgia.
That's kind of like my buddy. That's kind of like my buddy Sheldon Waltonowski.
I do know him.
Who moved down? A fellow YPO buddy moved down from Canada on a hockey scholarship to Alabama. He said he was flying down during the summer. He looked out the plane. Said, goodness gracious, I didn't know it snowed in the South during the summer. And that fellow looked over and said, buddy, that's cotton.
Oh, yeah. Well, hey, that was a good segue. We have a fellow Canadian here. Nicole Goolsby from our Raleigh office originally hails from Canada.
Really?
Yeah, we were talking about that a little yesterday. Because we
want diversity. I'd have never hired her if I know she's Canadian.
Easy, man. Canadian people are great. You know, Sheldon, just the nicest.
No, they are nice. And one of my other very dearest friends is from West Canada, Mark Mellison. So they make a good person up there.
They do. They make a good human, huh?
That's it.
Well, Trent, how's old Wiley Pipes doing? The new addition to your family? Anything getting chewed up, destroyed?
Well, Wiley Pipes is good. Wiley Pipes likes to eat underwear, and he likes to scratch kids on their arms. I actually took my middle child Rowan to the Minute Clinic, and man, my kids are outside. They're crazy. They all play sports. I mean, they're in the grass, in the woods,
that's the way it should
everywhere
be.
In the river. And I took Piper to the Minute Clinic over the weekend. She had an ear hurting and she had some pink eye. And the woman looked at her arm and said, "What's good gosh, what's going on with your arm?" And I'm sitting there, going, "That's the dog." No, but she said that was the dog, and actually. Rowan had, I think about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, actually got into some chiggers or something along those lines, and they ate her up, get 4 or 5 bites on her arms and a couple on her back. I went on a church retreat a couple years ago and pulled the sleeping bag out of my storage room in my garage. And, man, I had a good night's sleep up there in the mountains, but the next day I woke up, I had about 30 whelps on my back. And that was my first experience to chiggers.
They're no fun. I'll tell you what, I had something similar happen to me. I was in Charleston this past weekend for a night, and we were out kind of towards the coast around 6 o'clock at night, and I probably have 100 of those. I think they call them no-see-ums. Mm-hmm. Those suckers lit my legs up, and it's still there.
They like women. Yeah,
I must have some sweet blood.
You're right. You are. Reagan gets bit a bit all the time. I don't really get bit much, but Rowan's kind of got that.
You don't wear shorts. I never seen you always wearing pants.
But Rowan, when I was a kid, I wore shorts all the time, and my dad never wore shorts.
Yeah.
And I said, "You old man, you don't wear shorts." And he said, "Hush, one day you won't wear shorts." And now I'm that guy. And my dad never had hair. At all, really much on his legs. I think from Vietnam. I think the Agent Orange got his hair on his legs, and it did a little number on his head, but he survived the head deal. But he never had hair on his legs, and now I wear cowboy boots a lot. So like my bottom half of my lower portion of my leg.
Just promise me you won't wear the cowboy boots with a pair of shorts.
I will. That's like the singing cowboy, naked cowboy up in New York, right? That's what he does.
I think that's pretty popular amongst the sorority girls at
he wears spandex.
Chapel here in Clemson.
He wears some thongs.
You tell a story about going to the Minute Clinic and people wondering about the scratches. My dad tells the story when I was a kid. I broke my arm pretty bad, had a concussion, had to take an ambulance ride. And I was like, "You're kids. We were outside, dirty, fighting, playing." And I was like one big bruise. And so they kind of strip you down and put you in the hospital. And he said the doctor started looking at him kind of crooked-eyed. It's like, we don't hit that kid.
Yeah, that's what it said. That was his answer.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it wasn't like that, but it definitely makes you feel weird. I kind of could feel where you're coming from.
Well, I mean, I didn't, I didn't know. The funny thing is, I mean, that's Reagan's job. She takes the kids to the doctors, and she asked me. It was really cool. Reagan does stuff like how I get to take the kids to school. She said, "Hey, you want to take Rowan?" And we went and washed my truck. I went and got gas, went by the AutoZone. We did a lot of errands and had a good old time together. But, they start asking me all these questions, and I'm sitting here. I'm scared to answer any insurance question, any question. She's like, tell them this, do this. I feel like I'm hogtied, In business, I'm always in control, but my vulnerabilities shine through when I take the kids to the doctor.
Decision fatigue, I think they call that.
Yeah, I went on the brink.
Well, 30 seconds.
Wiley's doing good. He just likes to nibble. So he's teething.
Well, yeah, so I was wondering if your house is getting chewed up. Well, Trent, let's tee it up a little bit. Next couple segments, we're going to have Nicole Goolsby, hailing from Canada, female leader in the construction industry, and also leader of Andrew Roby Triangle Division.
Yep. So we have a rising star with us. Nicole will be back when we return, and stay tuned. Hear what's going on in the Triangle market. Roby, RDU. We'll be back.